So my question is, um, your recent video really kind of hit home with me about the struggles,
Mhm.
coming through the adversity and everything. And I can kind of, maybe expect what I guess I'm looking for somebody else to kind of tell me that it's going to get better. But I've only killed about 10 deer with my bow. Um, but I started out on the lease, kind of changing up my tactics, getting a lot more mobile about 3 or 4 years ago. So I feel like I'm getting into that time period where it's really starting to pay off. It's really taken me about 3 years to figure it out,
Mhm.
and apply it to the national forest. And I've gone from maybe a mature buck encounter every 3 years or so to one or two every year. But I'm having a lot of trouble, kind of the way I categorize myself, kind of going into that phase of trying to figure out how to execute in those final seconds. And
Mhm.
I've blown the last three encounters with really nice bucks. All three would have been my biggest bow buck ever. Probably two were Pope and Young, and one doe, and one just happened just a few days ago. And it's a little bit of a combination of target panic, I think, and maybe a little lack of experience. But I don't really know what to do, as far as I don't step backwards and go, you know, say I'm not going to hunt mature bucks, because I'm just figuring it out and it's getting exciting and I'm putting in the work and I'm finding these deer. But I don't, every time you mess one up, it's like the anxiety builds, and I don't really know how to come off of that, because I'm just thinking about the next encounter, if I'm going to, how I'm going to come off of that panic and not screw the next one up. And not really sure where to go from there. But I was curious if you experienced anything like that when you were younger, and you too, Josh. And I know you guys maybe killed a lot more deer before you started hunting mature deer, but I'm not really sure where to take it from here.
Yeah, that's a growing pain that'll go on for forever, but you're going to constantly get better, and that's part of the growing. Um, what you got to do is you got to analyze every one of those hunts and see and tell yourself what went wrong, what went right, and how to fix it, and continually try to improve. If you dwell on it and you do nothing and you just call it bad luck, that's where you have problems. Everything happens for a reason, and you have to analyze it and say, well, what happened here? What can I do about it to prevent it? And every time that something like that happens, you grow as a hunter. At least that's my opinion. What do you think, Josh?
Are you oh yeah, for sure. But are you struggling with like missing deer, or are you just struggling getting a shot off, Seth?
Sometimes it's literally struggling, just to get the shot off. Last year, um, yeah, I just got my bow hung up. It was just like one limb that I missed, that I didn't pull back out of the way. I couldn't, because we can't trim anything, so I had it, zip tied up. But caught my broadhead on it. He just heard my arrow bounce and left. And then
Yeah.
just the other day, he came in right at dark just a few days ago. Enough shooting light, but um, I mean, with my naked eye, like when I drew, I was like, this deer's about to be dead. And then, but like, for some reason, like I felt like I couldn't get a sight picture. Like my peep sight
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
blurry.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, then I started to panic. I'm like, I'm about to mess this up, and like I just felt like my whole sight picture was blurry, and I couldn't even figure out why I couldn't even get the deer in there. And he's just, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, he's gone. And
So there's something I want to recommend to you, because I did it. Been a while ago now when I started shooting a trad bow, but um, there's a guy named Joel Turner. He has a class called Shot IQ, and the Joel, what he does for a living is he trains military and police officers how to shoot under pressure. Is what his like real job is, and he's transformed into like um, hunting and target shooters as well. Now he has like a class, and he does a really good job of like breaking you down mentally and giving you instructions on how to keep yourself composed during those moments. And I mean, obviously, you're not shooting people like people in war and police officers are. Like that's what he specializes in, is getting their mind right to execute a good shot whenever it matters the most. Obviously, way more important than what we're screwing around with deer on. But it's called Shot IQ. It's super cheap. It's not expensive. Um, but it's online and stuff. It helped me a lot, man. Like just getting a good shot process down and what to think about while you're under pressure instead of letting your emotions take over. It's like gives you a process to go through whenever you're getting ready to shoot something. And it's good.
Right. And during the off season, I tried to do some 3D tournaments. I tried to do some competition stuff just to create, at least mimic it in the best way I could. Do a little hog hunting, but there's just something about the deer
I probably did a bad job of explaining what the class is about, but it's literally breaking your mind down to think differently whenever an animal's coming in instead of losing your crap, essentially, you know.
Right.
And he has, like I said, he's not some Joe Blow guy. He's actually, that's what his real job is training police officers. So he kind of knows what he's talking about. But I would recommend it. It's a good thing to try at least. Hey everybody, if you like the channel, make sure you subscribe right here. And if you like the clips, I got 2 more options for you. 2 options right here. Subscribe right here. See you guys.